Hey everybody, Laura Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you, number 198. This is a 6,666 point game. Buddy of mine had watched the big game that I played for Battle Report 200, which will be coming out soon, probably. And he wanted to have a big battle, but he wanted to do something kind of silly, so he chose this point total, and we went at it. So it was actually a lot of fun, and I play me, Lord Tremendous of the Undead Legion, versus Old Dirty Bastard of the Chaos Legion, and it was actually a lot of fun. This is a really cool game, and it was a huge one too. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one pans out. I did not get my opponent's army list, and I don't have mine. I use Army Builder. I know you've probably seen it occasionally on my battle reports. My list just hanging out on the table. I use Army Builder, and when I updated my Army Builder, the actual army that I had for this deleted, or a lot of it was left out, something about it being incompatible, and I never got my opponent's list. It was one of those things that we had a limited amount of time, we had to play quick, so it was kind of piss poor planning on my part, and a shock from Army Builder, so I apologize. But yeah, I don't have the army lists. I'll try as best I can to remember what all was in where and what happened when, or what, specifically, but no, I don't have the army lists for either army, and I apologize. Yeah, real quick before we get started, I'm always looking for, good deals and good vendors and everything like that for you guys. And this one is actually completely thanks to Unleashed Wargaming. He has basically an entire Warriors of Chaos army for you. Assembly and the army is free. The only thing you're going to have to pay for is shipping and the painted commission fee. Nothing in this army has been painted yet, so you literally get to tell him exactly how you want it painted. So you could have that pink Warriors of Chaos armor with purple polka dots you've always wanted, or something else. So yeah, but it's completely pro painted. You've seen Unleashed Wargaming's ads on my channel for months now, probably going on close to a year, and he does great work, guys. He really does. He's reasonably priced, and you're getting an entire army pro painted. And all you're paying is the commission painting cost, which really isn't that bad. I mean, you're looking at a $500 total army, not to mention it's fully assembled. Really, all you have to do is write a check, and he's going to do everything for you and ship it to you. But included in this army is 3 Skull Crushers, a War Shrine, 60 Warriors of Chaos, 36 with hand weapon and shield, 24 are unassembled, so you get to basically say what you want them assembled with, 5 Chaos Knights, 20 Hounds, 1 Lord on foot, and 1 Sorcerer Lord on foot. I don't know the specifics with payment or anything like that. I guess it really just kind of comes down with how intent you want your, or how detailed anyway, you want your paint job. But if you're interested, and this sounds like something that anybody who plays Warriors of Chaos or Demons of Chaos or Chaos Legions or just likes to collect really well-painted models, should jump on. Models are free, assembly is free, you're choosing the paint job. All you're painting for is the paint job from a pro painter. Contact Unleashed Wargaming right now. Pause the video, it ain't going anywhere, it'll be up there for forever. You've got all the time in the world. And yeah, send them an email, it's right there, and get yourself a friggin' pro painted Warriors of Chaos army right now. Here are my spells, which is pretty much exactly what you're looking at. And here's my opponent's spells, which is exactly what you're looking at. Here's deployment, and yes, I usually don't get my opponent's pictures or my opponent in the pictures, at least not their face, but in this situation, congratulations. Not only do you get to see how this battle pans out, but you get to see my opponent pretty much every deployment and movement turn type of deal. So yeah, there he is. Hi, opponent! And yeah, that mess on the table, we're using the entire table, is our armies. As you can see, there was no rhyme or reason to anything. I just put stuff in the choke points and went to town. I brought everything that I owned, and I borrowed some stuff from the store, and it was awesome. He did pretty much the same thing. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason why I did anything. In fact, I kind of ran out of space. I have 6 Necro Knights that I haven't even put on the table yet. We're bringing them in like they're in reserve. But yeah, this is going to be so cool. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of, it looks like some raiders. I don't believe they're on the table yet. I believe they're ambushing. But that is a Gorby's chariot thing. There's a unit of Centaurs right there in the middle. And on the right side there is a unit of Corn Wars with Halberds, full command. Here's my opponent's center. From left to right, there's a little beast shaman guy in the back there, some warhounds next to him. In front of them are a unit of Gores, I believe, with a Doombull BSB. No, I'm sorry, with a Warbull or whatever it is, some sort of Minotaur BSB, and then a Doombull is in there too, which I believe is his general. In the middle there is his huge unit of trolls with Throg installed, just in case you were wondering. Behind them is another unit of just regular Ungors, I believe with his level 4 caster inside. In the middle there is a giant. Next to them is a unit, that whole thing is a giant brick of Gores with great weapons. Behind them is a Nurgle Demon Prince with all the trimmings. And next to him is a Nurgle Sorcerer, Chaos Sorcerer, on a demonic mount. And here's his left flank, which consists of a huge unit of Skull Crushers with a Exalted Hero installed, also on a Skull Crusher, obviously Khorne. There's another Gorby's Chariot right there. There's one on both sides of the river there. On the right side there, that is a Bloodthirster, and right next to him is a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Here's my right flank, and from right to left, that is a War Kitty. I know it's, what's it called, Archon or whatever, but no, I'm using that model as a War Kitty, so yay. Next to them is a unit of Vargeist. Behind them is my Casket. Next to them in the back there is a unit of Skeleton Warriors, just 20 or so of them. Next to them is a unit of Boshati, 5 of them, because I'm beginning to really like the Boshati. And then, of course, next to them is a unit of 8 Chariots. Here's my center. There's my Titan there on the right. You've already seen the chariots in my left picture there. Up front there are my scouts. In front or behind them is my skeleton warriors with, ooh god, Tomb King, 2 Karn Wraiths, and Necrotech, and I think a vampire installed. So yeah, like 1 billion points in that unit. Behind them is a unit of skeleton archers with 2 casters installed. Right next to them is the Phalapult, and I hate that thing. And then in front of this Phalapult is a unit of chariots. My left side center is, start right to left, that is a, what's it called? Oh, a unit of Spirit Hosts there. There's a couple of them, kind of hard to see. There is my authentic War Kitty. There's another unit of 8 chariots and a unit of Tomb Guard next to them with a vampire, no, I'm sorry, with a Tomb Prince and a Necrotech installed. And here's my left flank, which consists of some Hex Race, another unit of chariots, and a Colossus or whatever, the Bone Giant basically. And he does have the extra hand weapon. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I got to go first, and I came out swinging. My unit of chariots, or yeah, my 8x chariots charge his fast cav. Like, in my opinion, got a little too close. I made it, and the intent there was overrun, hit that unit of Corn Warriors, and just do as much damage to him as I can. Maybe even cause a bit of a traffic jam, because everything's going to countercharge, which I was fine with, but I just wanted everything on his side for a turn or two, giving me time to go after some stuff. My unit of 3 chariots on the left flank there tried to charge his Centaur and failed because I don't know. And yeah, and then that everything else just kind of positioned itself. I have my scouts in the middle there, and there was 2 reasons for that. 1, it's kind of a traffic jam, which I like, and 2, his Skull Crushers, if they fail their charge, they have to charge them. They'll be in the flank, they'll overrun, letting me hit him in the flank with my Skeleton Warriors, maybe even my Chariots, you know, the 8x, and the other unit of Chariots, the 3x that are standing right next to the Warriors. If I can hit the Skull Crushers in the flank like that, oh, with combat res alone, I was hoping that they would break and I could run them down, or at least they, you know, go away for a little while, which would be really nice. And lose frenzy, all that good stuff. So they were kind of there in case he failed his frenzy check. It was a long shot, but his BSB was way over on the other side of the table, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Other than that, nothing really moves because I know he's going to be coming across. Oh yeah, when my chariots failed their charge, I moved my bone giant to look at the chariots because I knew the centaurs were going to countercharge, and I figured that they would get blown up, and then my giant could countercharge and kill them because life. There's a better picture of my 3x chariots failing a charge into the centaurs because life's not always fair. And there's a better picture of my 8x chariot slamming into his fast cav. And like I said, just need like a 9 to overrun. And with Swift Stride, that should be very doable. It's a gamble, and I know I got to stop gambling, but I can't help it. It's an addiction. During the magic phase, I like 4-diced the casket, and it goes off. Not irresistible either. It just went off. And it hits the Shaggoth and does 2 wounds to it, and it hits the Bloodthirster and does a ton of wounds to him, but he's got magic res, so he's able to save all but 1. So he's bleeding a little bit, and I'll take it. I'm happy about that. But those 2 are seriously wounded now, and that's awesome. And then nothing really worth mentioning happens in the magic phase, so we go into the shooting phase. And I fire the catapult. And I fire it right at his level 4. I figure, why not? And lo and behold, this thing actually hits. Couldn't believe it. And to make matters even better, he fails his lookout, sir, for his level 4, right? I mean, 1 in 6 chance granted, but yes, he actually failed it. So I'm like, I've got this. Strength 9, D6 wounds. I just need to roll a 3 up, and this thing's dead. I roll a 1 to wound. Because it's the Failapult, and I hate the stupid thing. I'm actually not even surprised. Everyone was looking at me. There was a lot of people, as you could probably imagine, watching this game. And they all just kind of looked at me because my opponent was like, no, I rolled a 1. And I was like, yeah, you rolled a 1. And everyone was like, ooh. So I was like, all right, roll the wound. Boom. There it is right there. My 1 and his 1. It was glorious. Failapult, I hate you so much. The only thing that ends up happening is one of the strength 3 hits actually wounds, and it does kill one of the unit guys or whatever. Not that it's a big deal. They pass their panic check, and life goes on. I hate you, Failapult. I hate you. Over here, we go into combat because nothing else interesting really happens in the shooting phase. We go into combat, and my chariots, blow up the fast cav no problem, and miss the Corn Warriors by like 3 inches. It wasn't even close. Like, aw, damn. So, yeah, that's why they call it a gamble, because you're going to lose. Well, I'm going to lose. You're going to be fine. So, after all that, we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement, and my opponent just goes BSC. It's really bad. His Doom Bulls and his Corn Warriors charge chariots and make it because they're like 2 inches away, which is, yeah, he didn't even have to roll. His Skull Crushers do fail their frenzy check and charge my scouts. And I was like, cool. They're going to charge. They're probably going to fail. They're going to be out of range for a little while. No, he rolled 2 6s and a 5, made it all day. In fact, they ran a lap first, then they made their charge. It was a little ridiculous. He did try to charge with a big unit of Gores with what's it called? Great weapons in the middle there, but they failed their charge, which is probably a good thing. And other than that, the rest of his units just move up. His Bloodthirster and his Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, they walk right up to the river and stop. I don't really know why, but they do. And everything else, like I said, just starts positioning and moving up slightly because there is a bit of a traffic jam on his side of the table. Oh, I'm sorry. The Centaurs charged my unit of 3 chariots that failed to charge earlier, and I'm actually okay with that because they deserve this for failing me. And there's a better picture of his Doom Bull, his crazy Minotaur unit, and his Corn Warriors slamming into my chariots, and they're dead. And there's a better picture of the Skullcrusher slamming into my scouts, and I'm pretty sure my scouts got this. Oh yeah, all day. During his magic phase, he gets Miasma Pestilence off on his Skullcrushers. I let it go because I've only got like 4 to his 9. He channeled. I didn't. It was bad. But yeah, he's got the Miasma Pestilence off on these guys, and that's fine. I don't expect my scouts to do anything, and I'm just gotta hope that my Skeleton Warriors with Hatred can do something. Not to be done so easily, though. He does roll a 6 on the Laura Nurgle attribute, and now his Demon Prince is +1 wound and +1 toughness for the rest of the game. So, awesome! Things are going swimmingly. Then he gets Curse of the Leper off on them as well. I try to stop it with 3 dice. I roll 3 ones. Life isn't always fair, ladies and gentlemen. He's able to get Curse of the Leper off with, you know, flying colors, but he's only able to put 1 more toughness off on his Skullcrusher unit. So now they're toughness 5. That's not great, but it could have been worse, I suppose. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not true. He actually miscast 7 this one. I apologize. I am completely wrong. And not that that's a big deal. He isn't touching anybody, and his magic phase was over anyway. So, oh well. He got a freebie. We go into combat because he really doesn't have a shooting phase, and sure enough, the Skullcrushers obliterate the scouts no problem. And since they're frenzied, they overrun like 5 or 6 inches and are in perfect flank charge formation, which I'm really excited about. I won't lie. Then over here, the Bulls and the Corn Warriors, before the Chariots even get to attack, they just get obliterated. It's actually kind of cool to watch. Just 7 chariots, because one got blown up when it went through the terrain there. We called that rubble, or dangerous terrain, hardcover dangerous terrain, that broken up house there, just because we thought it'd be neat. And it worked out great for my opponent. It blew up a chariot before it could do anything, so that was awesome. And then, of course, the Corn Warriors and the Doom Bulls and all that other stuff were able to blow up the chariot well before they could do anything. So, yeah, huge unit of chariots completely wasted on a really stupid gamble. But, you know, sometimes I do stupid things. Are you new? Then over here, the Centaurs, who were drunk. I think they were -1. I think it was like worst hangover ever or whatever, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, they ended up with like -1 movement and still made the effing charge. But anyway, they obliterate this 3 failed chariots, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And then they overrun, which is good too, because now I have a beautiful rear charge onto the Centaurs, which I'm going to use. Speaking of using, here we go to top of 2 after movement. And I know you can't see it, but yes, my what's it called? Giant does charge rear to Centaurs, and that's awesome. My Hex Rays try to charge the flank of the Corn Warriors, which would have been great had they made the frickin' charge, but they didn't, because making charges is hard. I guess everything on the left flank is uphill. In the middle there, my Chariots and my Skeleton Warriors charge into the Skullcrushers, and they make it, and I'm very excited about that. Plan is to throw like 1 5-up ward save off on my Skeleton Warriors, and then throw at least 6 dice, or as many dice as I possibly can, at the -D3 toughness and strength spell that my High Lich Priest has onto the Skullcrushers. Make them toughness hopefully 2, hopefully, and then just hope he rolls a lot of 1s for me when my Skeleton Warriors attack, and then just let Combat Res do the rest. That was the hope, that was the prayer, and we'll see how that goes. Other than that, the rest of my stuff just kind of postures, because there's a bit of a traffic jam, and I don't really see any reason to move yet. There's a better picture of the Hex Race failing me, and that would have been a great charge if they made it in the Corn Warriors. Just a bunch of attacks all day, and he couldn't do anything against me except for hope I flub. That would have been nice. That would have been nice. But no, it didn't work out because life and reasons and stuff. There's a better picture of my Giant making it into his Centaurs, and I'm really hoping that he just does that unstoppable assault thing and just blows them all up. That would be great. There's a better picture of pretty much half my army slamming into the Skullcrushers, and everything really hinges on me getting that spell off, Incantation of Desiccation, but if I can get it off, that unit's as good as dead, and then I can just start going through the army. I'll feed the damn trolls my chariots, I don't care, and then just send my Skeleton Warriors just through the middle and hope. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Hellish Vigor off on my Colossus, so any of those pesky 1s that I roll will be re-rolled, and that should be nice. And then on a whim, I get the casket off again, and I'm able to hurt the Shaggoth. He's got like 3 wounds on him now. And the Bloodthirster, he takes a boatload of wounds again from the casket of all things. And he doesn't make any saves. He actually only has 1 wound left on him now. He's at 4 wounds. The casket is kicking ass this game, which is good because the rest of my army really seems to be bending over and grabbing their ankles, which is bad. Really, really bad. During the shooting phase, my stalkers appeared up on the table. It was great. They Care Bear stare at the what's it called? The Nurgled Chaos Sorcerer on a demonic mount, and I hit him 20 times and a misfire. I take 2 wounds, which is fine. 20 attack, 2 10s and a misfire. It was glorious. I'm like, got him. I just need to roll 6s. 20 dice, 1 6. It went through, but yeah, 20 dice, 1 6. It should have been a guaranteed effing kill, and I rolled 1 6. Sometimes the dice gods just like to steal your birthday. What can I tell you? We go into combat, and sure enough, the Bone Giant is able to beat the Centaurs in combat, charge, rear, and I think he did like 4 or 5 wounds to nothing. No, it was 5 or 6 wounds. It was a lot because he wasn't steadfast, and he broke. And my Skeleton Giant chased them off the table. He didn't catch them; they ran off the table. But that's fine. That's fine. Points is points, and I need some. Then over here, oh my! Remember what I said about the magic phase? Yeah. Well, I went to cast the 5-up board save on the Skeleton Warriors, and I used 3 dice because I had like a 9 dice magic phase. I'm like, I'll take 3 dice, and I'll throw them at the 5-up board save. He'll dispel it, probably, or let it go. That'd be fine too. And then I'll take 6 dice, and I'll throw Incantation of Desiccation, the powered-up version, right at the Skull Crushers, and laugh all through this combat. Anybody want to guess what I rolled on the 3 dice? Yeah, a 1, and I know, wait for it, a 1. Yeah. So she lost her concentration, couldn't cast anymore that turn, and that's when I cast the other spells that you saw go off because I just didn't care at that point. Best laid plans. So here are the toughness 5, strength 5, psychopath, high initiative, 1-up armor save, skull crushers. I think I killed 1. I killed 1, and I think I did a wound to his character, and that's it. They ripped apart my chariots. They did issue a challenge, and I think I did bring Krell, actually. I think that's actually Krell, and I just rejected the challenge, and he sent Krell to the back. I don't know if Krell needs to accept challenges. I could not remember. None of us could, and I wasn't smart enough to bring the book with me because I kind of had to bring everything else, so we just kind of assumed he didn't. So if I'm wrong, feel free to call me out in the comment section. We had no idea. We don't use Krell all that often, so if he was supposed to accept a challenge, maybe I should have. I didn't. Good decision making, all in all. But yeah, in the end, it went very poorly. I lost this combat. They turned to face and, make way, and all the good things. All the good things. Chariots get exploded. Skeleton Warriors are now going to take a beating. All because I rolled 3 1s on 3 dice. And yeah, awesome. Just awesome. So, if you can believe it, that was my turn. So we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and yeah, he just advances. Everything advances. Everything comes forward. I don't think there's any new charges. Oh wait, yes there is. One of his chariots on my left flank charges into the flank of my failing hex race, which is just fantastic that they keep failing that they failed that charge and gave their flank to this friggin' chariot. Luckily, the chariot's done in magic attacks, but just pisses me off. Then, of course, his Bloodthirster charges the War Kitty because he's on his last leg, and he's got that Blade of Eternities or whatever, which makes him strength 10, which I did not know, but he makes the charge into the War Kitty, and everything else that he has, just like I said, it advances. And his unit of ambushers, they come on the table, but something went wrong, and so I got to choose what table side they came on. I should have said the left side and completely taken them out of this combat, but I didn't. I said the back side because I just didn't think about it, and he puts them over by the Stalkers, which was very intelligent on his part. So, once again, I'm the moron. But, hey, I'm still having fun. This is a huge battle, and it's actually a lot of fun. Here's a better picture of the chariot running into the hex race, a fail. I guess they were hanging out too much with the catapult crew. I'm not really sure. And there's a better picture of the Bloodthirster slamming into the War Kitty. And I'm feeling pretty good about this because I don't know he has the Blade of Eternities, which basically gives him like 10 strength, 10 attacks, which is really bad. I just gotta hope that he flubs or whatever the hell that stupid thing does. It's really bad. During his magic phase, he gets Curse of the Leper off on his Skull Crushers. Once again, I do try to stop it, and I fail because life reasons. And then he fires off whatever that Nurgle spell is. I can't even remember what it is, but it's where you have to take a toughness test. And yeah, basically he ends up clearing an entire back rank of Skeleton Archers, which is awesome. Kills about 7 of them with that damn spell. During combat, because he didn't have a shooting phase, the Bloodthirster, you know, he uses a Blade of Eternities and everything like that, but the kitty does not die. The kitty survives. He takes 4 wounds. My opponent rolled poorly, and the kitty was able to slip the final wound through on this bastard and kill a Bloodthirster. It pretty much cost him his life, because he's only got 1 wound left, and I got no way to heal the kitty where he's at, but I got a Bloodthirster with him. He sealed the deal and put that last wound through, and I'll take it. I mean, I barely got him. I should be dead. That never should have happened. But you know what? The luck of the kitty. I'll take it, and I'm pretty happy about that. Over here, however, not as happy. Krell, or I reject the challenge again. He sends Krell to the back, and then we go through this combat. I kill 1 more Skull Crusher, which is awesome. And he kills a score, like 20 or plus of my Skeleton Warriors. As you can see, I'm at half strength, with characters mainly making up the front rank. I am in a lot of trouble here. So, yeah. Awesome. Just awesome. My only hope is that I can get some spells off and reconstitute this unit. Maybe even sacrifice Krell to his Exalted Hero that's just going crazy, or the unit champion. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, this is just going fabulous, let me tell you. And then over here, he has a charge and a flank. My Hex Race are able to do 1 wound to him. He wins by 1, and one of the Hex Race dies. I do try to turn to face, but now I roll 6s. So yeah, I rolled like a 10. So they're not turning to face. They're going to stay right where they're at. So great. Now the Hex Race are pinned in place and losing by 1. Perfect. So, with things looking good, we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and I'm desperate. My big unit of Chariots, the 8x there on the right flank, attempt to charge a big unit of Gores, and fail. Why? Because why not? I needed an 8, and apparently that's too hard to roll. So, no, they don't make it, and they end up moving forward like an inch, which is just perfect. Other than that, I believe my Vargeists charge. No, that's not true. My War Kitty tries to charge his Gores with his 2 big bowls in it and fails. My Tomb Guard also try to charge them and fail. They needed longer charges, so I guess it's not that much of a surprise. My Spirit Host charge his Giant in the flank, just because why not? I figured it'd be fun. And my kitty on the right flank with the Vargeist charge to Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and make it, because it's time for that thing to die. Other than that, everything else, like the giant turns around and walks over and gets ready to get into either the Corn Warriors or the Doom Bowl units or whatever it is, and get back into this fight. The Titan moves up with the archers just so they can stay in range and throw their spells around. The catapult stays useless. The bow shotty get ready to shoot at some chariots, and I'm grabbing at straws here, people. Grabbing at straws. Here's a better picture of the kitty and the Tomb Guard failing to charge, because it's very fashionable in my armies to fail charges. And there's a better picture of the Spirit Host actually making a charge into the giant. Now, if he can just not roll Yell and Ball, that would be great. And there's a better picture of my big unit of Chariots failing a charge, because reasons. And there's a better picture of my other kitty and the Vargeist slamming into the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. And the hope there is to just beat this thing to death, because I think it's got like 2 wounds left. So I think I can do it. During the magic phase, I get Bubble Ward off Irresistible, which is good because I'm able to put, I think, 4 more Skeleton Warriors back into the unit, which in the long run isn't going to amount to shit. But hey, it's better than nothing, so I'll take it. The Spirit Hosts get a little something. Everybody gets a little something. I even bring some archers back, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The resulting Miscast 7, however, ends up taking out 1 Skeleton Archer. So, whatever. That'll work. During the shooting phase, the Failapult. Oh, the Failapult. Oh, how I hate you. 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 I must have made it out of elf bones or something because this thing does not know how to succeed. I aimed at his Nurgle Demon Prince, figuring why not, and I hit. No, I'm sorry, I don't hit. I deviate 10 inches on top of the giant's head. So I'm like, oh, okay. It's still a direct hit on the Giants. Hey, it does hit the Spirit Host as well. As you can see, they take a wound. Want to know who didn't take a wound? The Giant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I rolled another 1 to wound. Why? Because there is no justice in the universe at all. I don't know. I get it. Everyone's like, oh, you need to take 2. Yeah, yeah. It's like saying that in order to appreciate getting shot, you need to be shot twice. I don't follow your logic. It's if you have to take 2 of something in order for you to get the effectiveness of 1, it's broken, it's stupid, and you shouldn't take it. And that's the way I feel. The only reason I'm ever taking these stupid things is if I'm in huge games like this and I'm just trying to fill points. Because the thing is just an atrocious piece of just wasted time. It's a glorious model. I really like the model. My wife did a wonderful job painting it, but I just hate it. I hate the disappointment that it brings every single time. It's actually to the point now where when it kills something, it's like this big glorious event where everyone's like, "Oh, I killed something! Yay! It must be game 8 that you played it in or something." Oh, I hate that thing so much. Twice in this game, it could have been somebody. Twice in this game, it had the level 4 and I roll a 1 to wound. It had this giant and I roll a 1 to wound. There's no justice in the universe. None. 0. And to hell with that thing. Then over here, the stalkers, just before they're going to get charged and killed by whatever those things are, the ambushers, the raiders, whatever the hell they are, they're able to Care Bear stare at the Nurgle sorcerer on a demonic mount, and they kill it. This time they do like 16 shots, and I roll like 4 6s, so I don't know what the deal was. But it worked. It's dead. Everybody passed their panic check that needed to take one, and at least they got some points before they get mowed down by that unit, because they're not a combat unit. The stalkers should not see combat. Then in the shooting phase, the Upshati take shots at the chariot and put 2 wounds on it. Almost killed it, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. 5 strength 6 hits is nothing to be upset about. And then over here, my Hex Race are able to do a wound to this chariot. So wound to flank. It's tied. We weren't sure if during ties you have to roll in order to determine whether or not you can reform. So I rolled, and I ended up not making. I rolled like an 11. But my opponent was like, no, I don't think you have to roll. And we went back and forth, and my opponent finally just said, no, turn him to face, blah, blah, blah. So my opponent gave me a gimme here. Maybe that is the way it's supposed to work. I don't know, but I wasn't sure, and I always kind of err on the side that's gonna screw me when I don't know the rules for sure. That way, worst comes to worst, I'm the only one getting screwed. And if anyone's gonna get laid, it's gonna wait. No, I'm sorry, completely off topic. But anyway, yeah. So in the end, the only reason that these guys turned to face the chariot is because my opponent was feeling generous. And in all fairness, he's wiping the floor with me, so he can afford it. But he's a nice guy, and I just want to get that out there because I like this guy. He's good people, and he let me turn to face. Then over here in combat, he does not roll Yell and Ball, which is awesome, so I'm able to attack with the Spirit Host, and these Spirit Hosts were pissed about something because they put 2 wounds through on this crazy-ass giant, which I thought was hilarious. Obviously, charge, flank, 2 wounds. I win by 4. This thing's stubborn 10 and makes it all day. He does not turn to face, however. I honestly don't know why. Maybe because he was worried about causing a traffic jam. Maybe he was taking it easy on me. Maybe he just forgot. I'm not really sure, but he didn't turn to face, so I don't know. Then over here, I'm just getting my ass kicked. I don't do any wounds to these guys because they're toughness like 7 right now. They beat the piss out of my unit, even with a 5-up ward save. I don't think I made any of the ward saves. Beats the piss out of me, and that's a shame. So this is what I got left. You're looking at it, and I'm not thrilled, but I'm trying. I'm trying. And then over here, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth was able to finish off my kitty, and the Vargeist, in true Vargeist fashion, aren't able to do anything to it because, yeah, those are the Vargeist for you. When I pay for them, they're awful. When I summon them, they're amazing. So what can you do? I'm starting to get the hint, though. Starting to get the hint. So here we are in bottom of 3 after movement, and here they all come. His Corn Warriors and his, I don't know, his Minotaur Doombull BSB unit go charging into my Tomb Guard. The Minotaur unit makes it, but the Corn Warriors do not, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I don't really know what my Tomb Guard are going to be able to do. I don't have a whole lot of experience with these guys. They're expensive. I think they look really cool, and I love that they have Killing Blow and their Strength and Toughness 4. So they're just skinny Corn Warriors, really, with low weapon skill, but you know, I kind of like them. But I don't know how they're going to do it against this thing. And if the Skeleton Warrior unit against the Skull Crusher unit is any indication, they're probably going to get obliterated. But at this point now, I'm just trying to have fun, and I'm trying to experiment and see how all the different units function and stuff like that. Things that I normally wouldn't take. So, yeah, there is that. There is that. So they make it, and I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. Other than that, his unit of, what's it called? His Demon Prince slams into my archers, and, well, yeah, we all know how bad that is. They were able to hold off Karl Franz, so maybe with a little bit of luck they'll be able to do the same thing against his Demon Prince. I have no delusions that they're going to beat him in combat or win combat or anything else at all, so I'm just hoping that I can attrition him the best as humanly possible until this game is over, but we'll see. And then his big unit of Gores with great weapons and stuff like that, they tried to charge that big unit of Chariots that failed to charge them, and they returned a favor by failing to charge it. So that was really cool. Other than that, though, everything else just kind of positions barely. The Chariots on the right flank there move around the hill or the bridge a little bit, getting ready to countercharge Chargers. And yeah, other than that, everything else he has is dead in combat, or there's really no reason to move it. There's a better picture of his Corn Warriors failing a charge, and his Minotaur unit with Gores and everything like that making a charge. And there's a better picture of his Demon Prince slamming into my archers, and that is so bad! And there's a better picture of his Gore things failing a charge into my Chariot, which is so good! During his magic phase, he gets Curse of Leper and Miasma Pestilence off on his Skull Crushers again, and I let it go. That unit's screwed. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing that I stop is going to stop them from dying, so I'm going to let them die. That's what they want to do, and so that's what they're going to do. The hell with them. All because I couldn't cast that damn desiccation spell. I mean, who knows? Maybe he wouldn't have failed any armor saves. Maybe he'd have been fine, but just eats at my soul. And of course, when he casts Curse of the Leper off, he's able to, yet again, roll a 6. And now he is another +1 toughness and wound on his Demon Prince for the rest of the game, which is just outstanding. Nothing else happens in his magic shooting phase. We go into combat, and I lose a Vargeist, but my Vargeist are able to destroy the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, which is really, really good. So now my right flank is taken care of. It's secure. I can turn my attentions towards the center with those resources. Not that there's many left, but it's something, you know, and I'll take it. So they turn to face the center of the table in a second, and I'm just happy that those two big things are dead. That was huge. Over here, however, I forgot, I'm sorry, his ambushing unit did charge my Stalkers. They are able to win this combat. My Stalkers don't do terrible. They kill 3 of whatever the hell these things are. So I was rather proud of them, because they usually don't do well in combat. But after all was said and done, I'm down to 1 guy with, I think, full wounds on him. But, you know, he's only got a turn left, so at least he's holding them up. That's nice. Over here, the unit champion accepts or issues a challenge to the Demon Prince. He has to accept, and he gets his face powdered for it, which was nice. I end up losing the unit champion and 3 guys after all is said and done because my opponent flubs his attacks pretty much completely and only kills the unit champion due to Thunder Stomp. So that may or may not have worked out in my favor. I'm really not sure. Then over here in combat, the only thing left is a Karn Wraith. Everything else dies. Tomb King dies, does 1... with his curse, and it doesn't even wound. Yeah, everything else dies. In the end, the only thing left is a Karn Wraith. And he hasn't done anything the whole game. So he's making armor saves. He's almost impossible for me to wound. He's just beating my ass left, right, and center. So what can you do? That unit was just a complete waste of points. The Skull Crushers are eating my lunch. And I guess I deserve it. Over here, however, my Spirit Host, once again, they he doesn't yell and ball, and they're able to put another wound through on the Giant. So that's huge. And once again, – Giant does not try to turn to face at all. Over here in combat, the Hex Race flub completely. Horses and Hex Race. I'm not able to wound whatsoever. I think the horses actually wound, but he makes his armor save. But the Hex Race, no. I roll 2 2s and 2 1s. He can't hurt me. I can't hurt him. It's stale combat, and I cannot effing believe it at all. Then over here, this combat is brutal. It really is. His unit champion issues a challenge, and I believe my unit champion accepts. Maybe I've got another character in here. I cannot. No, I do. I have a vampire in there, and the vampire accepts and obliterates his unit champion, which is nice. The remaining Tomb Guard, after taking a beating, as you can see, there's like, I don't know, 19 Tomb Guard missing. After taking a beating, though, they are able to counterattack, and they kill his BSB. So, yeah, I was actually very impressed by that. So his BSB is dead, which is something. I end up not losing combat by too much. Like I said, 19 of my Tomb Guard are dead, but they're still there. And he doesn't have a BSB anymore. So that's pretty friggin' good. I'm pretty happy about that. So, yeah, everyone's still alive and kicking. I feel pretty happy about that. And, this combat will go on another turn at least. So here we go. Here's top of 4 after movement. And the War Kitty and the Giant charge into the Corn Wars. Only the War Kitty makes it, which I'm fine with. My snakes come on the table, and their job is hopefully to just get into something as soon as they can. That was the hope anyway. Other than that, my chariots, they slam into the gores, and that's awesome. They finally made that charge. My Boshati charge into the chariot that was closest to him and make it, which is really, really nice. Other than that, for the most part, everything I have is dead or in combat, so awesome. There's a better picture of the Giant failing to charge and the Kitty making the charge, and as long as one of them made it, I was thrilled. Oh, also, as you can see, a Scorpion came on the table and is looking at that little mage that's been hiding in the hard ground area this whole time, so hopefully I can get a hold of him with the Scorpion and kill him, which would be awesome. And over here, oh, I'm sorry, the, what's it called? The Morghast guys, they slam into the unit of Gores with the Doom Bull installed as well, because the Tomb Guard need backup, and why not, right? Here's a better picture of the Chariots and the Titans slamming into the Gores, because somebody's got to kill them, might as well be them. And there's a better picture of Boshati slamming into the Chariot and getting ready to finish it off, because it needs to be finished. During the magic phase, what I should have done against the Skull Crushers 2 turns ago, I did against the Gores. I'm able to get desiccation off on these guys and lower their strength and toughness by 3, which is out friggin' standing. With nothing happening in the shooting phase, because the catapult sucks major poop, we go into combat, and the Hex Race, once again, flubs spectacularly. Don't even ask, I have no idea. Over here, however, the War Kitty does some serious damage. He kills all but 12 of this 24-man brick of Corn Warriors. And you know what he did? He used his, he didn't use the Thunder Crush because they're toughness 4. But he did use his Flaming Breath, he did use all the attacks, Killing Blow came into effect, it was outstanding. He took no wounds for his trouble, charge, multiple wounds. The only reason that unit wasn't needing Snake Eyes stick around is because it was steadfast, and that's fine. War Kitty, you are my favorite. Then we go over here in combat, and it was the Tomb Guard. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Harbingers did some work here, the Morghasts or whatever they are, they did some damage, and I was proud of them, but the Tomb Guard ripped apart this unit. I was stunned by how much damage they did. The Vampire did well. There's a Karn Wraith in there. He did well. You know, the Morghast guys are in there. The Harbingers, they did... No, they're the Archai or something. Either way, they're the ones that halberds. But yeah, this unit just got thrashed. And my Tomb Guard only took like 3 or 4 wounds. So I'm very, very happy about the way this went. And started to think that maybe I should run Tomb Guard. I mean, their hand weapon shield. I like the 4-up. I like the 5-up, 6-up. Yeah, might have to start running Tomb Guard instead of Skeleton Warriors. Really, really liking the toughness 4, strength 4 thing a lot. And this particular unit has Razor Standard as well, so that -2 to your armor save is making them basically naked. Yeah, not too bad. These guys end up losing this combat, and they are not steadfast, and they do not make their break check, and they flee, and they get away because rolling higher than a 6 is impossible. No, I'm sorry. My opponent did roll like a 10 to get away, and I just couldn't catch them. I thought maybe the Harbingers or the Araki would get them, and they didn't. So that's too bad. No, they do get away, but the banner's dead. They're below 25%, so he needs snakes to rally. He only gets one shot at it. They're going to be running, so I'm hoping maybe it'll be gone by the end of the turn. That'd be great. Then over here in combat, the Spirit Hosts are able to put 2 more wounds through on the Giant. He doesn't yell and ball, he doesn't die, he doesn't break, and he's got 1 wound left. So, hey, I might scoop up the points for the Giant, and that would be fantastic. Over here in combat, the Demon Prince issues a challenge. I decide to take it with my level 2 Sorcerer of Undeath, who hasn't done anything all game and has already used his Dispel Scroll. And yeah, he gets his butt kicked. In the end, after combat res, I lose him and 2 more archers, and that's really bad. Then over here in combat, the Skullcrushers have no problem taking out this pathetic Karn Wraith. And yeah, you know, why are we surprised? In combat over here, it is absolutely glorious. My chariots and my Titan. After everything's said and done, I lose 2 chariots, and that's it. He loses all but 5 of these guys, and I'm sorry, he loses 6, but the banner dies when they break, because they do break from combat. They do unfortunately get away, because once again, I can't roll to save my life. But that combat went really, really well. I really wish I had caught that unit. I did get overexcited and overrun or pursue, thinking I would catch them. And now the trolls are going to be able to charge me in the flank and eat my lunch, which is not good. Then over here in combat, I don't do well at all. I put 2 wounds on the chariot. Chariot's able to put 2 wounds on me. The only reason I win this combat is because I charged. And I do this unit does have full command. But yeah, there's a banner in there, so I win by 2, but he makes his break check. I think he rolls like a 2 or something or a 3. It's like, wow, unfortunate. But yeah, he makes it, and so what can you do? Over here, however, my Vargheists are able to finish a chariot off that is on the bridge, and since they're frenzied, they have to overrun. They jump into the water, they take their dangerous terrain checks and pass, but that's something, and the chariot's dead, so awesome. And then over here, the Stalkers, I think they kill 1 more of these guys, and then they get killed. So it was inevitable. At least they lasted longer than 1 round of combat. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and yeah, the Trolls slam into the flank of the Chariots, and that was expected. The little Raider guys charge my Vargheist, and that was expected too, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, I guess it was time for them to go. His Skullcrushers, after they beat my Karn Wraith, turned to face the snakes, and that is completely my fault. I should not have put them there like that, but I did. They charge into my snakes, and I got a real bad feeling about that. And other than that, his unit of Gores with the Doom Bull failed to rally, and they continue to run, but not very far, like 6 inches, which is really discouraging. And the other unit of Gores that need Snake Eyes to rally that were in with the Chariots a minute ago, they fail to rally as well, and they run like 4 inches. So he's failing his checks, but he's not running very far, which really sucks. I need him off the table in like 2 turns. It's not going to happen at this rate. Other than that, for the most part, the rest of his army is dead or in combat. I mean, he really doesn't maneuver anything, because I think everything is in combat, other than like a unit of Warhounds that just kind of hang out in the back. There's a better picture of his ambushing unit slamming into my Vargheist, because I placed them perfectly for him, because I suck at this game. I really do. And there's a better picture of his Trolls slamming into my Chariots, because I suck at this game. And there's a better picture of Skullcrusher slamming into my snakes, because I suck at this game. Are you noticing a pattern? Well, there's a better picture of his Gores and his Doom Bull fleeing. Not very far, though. Only like 5 or 6 inches, which I really need him to flee farther than that if I'm going to get these points, because God knows I'm not going to be able to run him down. But yeah, that's something at least. At least they didn't rally. And there's a better picture of the other unit not rallying because they need Snake Eyes. But again, they only run like 4 inches, which is really bad. I need him to stop doing that. During his magic phase, he gets Fleshy Abundance off on his Trolls, which is fine. There's nothing that my Chariots are going to be able to do against this unit at all other than die horrible, horrible deaths. So I'm going to let him do it. And if he gets his ward save off on these, or his regen save off on him, then so be it. It's not like the 4-up wasn't good enough. Nothing else happens in magic or shooting, so we go into combat, and yeah, his Demon Prince issues a challenge. I don't have anything that can accept it other than the character, so she does, and she gets obliterated by the Demon Prince for it. In the end, the only thing I have left is my little standard bear archer, and yeah, that sucks. Then over here in combat, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, the Skull Crushers, without taking one wound, obliterate all the snakes. With combat res and everything like that, not one snake survived. That's my fault. I take complete responsibility. 100% on me. What a moron I am. Then over here, the ambushers, they obliterate the Var guys. They do take a few wounds, but the Var guys, they suck. So yeah, they died, and it is what it is. Then over here, the Boshati, they're able to finish off the chariot, which is nice because now they have a flank charge into those ambushers that just killed my Vargeists. So that's something to look forward to. And they were able to kill the chariot without taking a wound, so pretty happy about that. Over here in combat with the Spirit Host, nothing happens. I win this combat by 1. The Giant refuses to break, and he also refuses to turn to face, so I'll take it. Then over here in combat, the War Kitty is able to kill 5 more of the Corn Warriors and takes 1 wound for his trouble. I win this combat by a boatload. He's steadfast, and he does not break, so oh well. And these stupid friggin' Hexrays flub their attacks again. That's right, 3 turns in a row with 4 attacks from the riders, 4 from the horses. And he's making his armor save when the horses wound, and he doesn't have to worry at all about any kind of save because he wouldn't get one against the Hexrays because they're not hitting at all. He's failed terror checks. I need 3s to hit, and I'm failing to hit and wound. It's driving me crazy. That's probably the most frustrating part of this whole game, bar none, is the fact that these Hexrays are not able to take out this chariot that has 1 wound left. What friggin' garbage. So I'm throwing a temper tantrum, but we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and yay! There's really none. The trolls weren't able to completely kill my chariots. He actually flubbed pretty bad, and they turned to face. I toyed with sending the Titan into the flank, and then I thought, why throw good money after bad? So I leave him where he's at. I do charge with a bunch of stuff into his fleeing units just to make them move some more, and they do a little bit, but it's not a big deal. They don't obviously go off the table. It's just kind of helping me out. I think they do force the Warhounds up there in the center to flee, which is cool. My Boshati make it into the flank of the ambushers, which is great. 15 attacks plus 3 stomps into the flank. Hopefully I can kill those guys off without taking too much damage in return. Break them, maybe break them. I know they're going to be steadfast unless I can lower them down to 1 rank, which would be great. But yeah, oh, excuse me. I'm betting on that one because otherwise they're going to turn and face me, and then, you know, they're going to go the way of the Stalkers, which would suck. Other than that, though, I think my skeleton, my skeleton guy finally makes it into combat with the Corn Warriors, which is good because the kitty could use some backup. And the Harbingers and everything like that. Everything else just kind of charged things that were fleeing just to try to get it off the table. There's a better picture of Boshati slamming into the flank of the ambushers, and I'm really hoping I can finish this unit off and get those points because I really need to turn this around fast. And there's a better picture of my Scorpions and my Harbingers, or Archai, or whatever the hell they're called, trying to make this friggin' unit flee off the table, and I can't do it. He's failing his charge, or he's fleeing because he has to, but he's fleeing so small, like just enough that I can't catch him. It's ridiculous, and it's keeping him on the table, and it's like, oh my god, he's only got 2 turns to flee him off the table. This is so bad. So I'm hoping that they flee off the table during his next turn, so I can solidify those points and maybe pull this one out from the jaws of defeat. And there's a better picture of my Bone Giant finally making it into the Corn Warriors. And the hope here is the combined attacks of both my monsters destroy this unit so that my Giant can overrun into that caster and kill him. Because points is points, ladies and gentlemen. During the moon phase, I reform my Tomb Guard because I know the Skull Crushers are coming and I'm scared to death of them. So I reform them like this, just kind of. It's the best of both worlds. I still get a decent amount of attacks. I still have my characters up front, but I also have an extra rank. Not that I think it'll be there if the Skull Crushers actually hit this unit, but it's better than nothing. Nothing happens in the magic or shooting phase because life isn't always fair. So we go into combat and. The Hex Race. Clearly, we're hanging out too much with the Catapult crew because, once again, 4th turn in a row, they fail to hit and wound a Chariot. FML, right? FML. In combat over here, though, it goes much better. I do take a couple of wounds onto my Giant, and that's fine because the Corn Warriors get obliterated, and my Giant overruns into the caster, which is I'm sorry, not into the caster. The caster panics, flees, and gets 1 inch away from the damn what's it called, Giant, which sucks. But it is what it is. What can you do? So I'm an inch away from the stupid guy. Again, I cannot catch things that are breaking. It's really pissing me off. But what can you do? It is what it is. And the Corn Warriors are dead. So the kitty turns to face the Skull Crushers just in case they get froggy. In combat over here, the Spirit Host finally destroyed the Giant, and I'm feeling really good about that because that's awesome that they were able to kill that thing. And then right here, yeah, his Demon Prince able to finish off my last remaining archer, and that's not a surprise to anybody. Over here in combat, I have 15 attacks. 15 mother effing attacks. I flub each and every one of them. Yeah. 4s to hit, 3s to wound, not 1 wound got. Not even saves. He didn't even have to make saves. That's how bad I flubbed. Stomps? 1. Maybe 2. 2 wounds from stomps. That's it. That's it. He does a wound back to me. Charge and a flank and 2 wounds to banner and a wound. Yeah, he doesn't break. He doesn't break at all. He actually turns the face. It's over. It's over. And now it's just about body count. I have had so much bad luck, so many bad decisions, so many flubbed rolls, so much bad happened to me this game, most of which is my fault. I'm not even going to try to make an excuse. The snakes are probably my best example of that. Holy stupidity, Batman. But yeah, just stomach wrenching how much this one just took it out of me. Just completely took it out of me. 15 attacks and I flubbed every single one. Probably some of the worst rolling I've ever done in 1 round of combat. Just I could sit down and cry. I'm not going to because I have my pride, but I'm teetering on that edge, you know. And then over here the Chariots get obliterated by the Trolls, and that's not a surprise to anybody. It's just, you know, Chariots. They're good for 1 round of combat. That's about it. So we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and his Demon Prince charges into my Spirit Host to get some revenge for the Giant. The Skull Crushers turn to face the Tomb Guard and the Kitty because reasons, and the rest of his units fail to rally, with the exception of his Warhounds that rally on Snake Eyes. Not the Doom Bull, not the other unit of Gores, but the dogs that needed like a 6 or something like that to rally. They rallied on Snake Eyes. It was hilarious. So, see, there's bad luck on both sides of the table. What can you do? The little caster guy, he does rally, and he turns around, and my Giants got him, which is awesome. And, his Trolls charge into the rear of the Boshati. They have it coming. I mean, no sympathies coming from this side of the table because 15 attacks needing 4s and 3s. They wouldn't have had. I think they would have had a 6-up armor. It should have been glorious, and instead it was devastating. Really, really discouraged. There's a better picture of his little shaman guy rallying, and that's great because now he gets to look at the Giant before he gets charged by him, which I'm feeling pretty good about. And over here, there's a better picture of the dogs rallying on Snake Eyes and his Doom Bull and 2 remaining, whatever the hell they are, Gore, Ungore, whatever, fleeing, which is hilarious. And there's a better picture of these guys fleeing as well, and they go like 4 inches. Again, he's just not rolling high enough to make it matter. It's driving me crazy. And there's been a picture of his troll slamming into the rear of my Boshati. That shouldn't be there. They should have destroyed that unit and overran and gotten out of there. This is driving me crazy. I cannot believe that happened still. During his magic phase, he gets Miasma Pestilence off, and I let it go. He doesn't care. He's just trying to roll on the attribute chart again. And it works! It works! It works beautifully. His Demon Prince now is +3 to his toughness and wounds, because hat tricks are fun! Not to be outdone, he gets Fleshy Abundance off on the trolls, and I don't even try to stop it because we all know that that combat's going to go fine regardless. And then he casts Curse of Anfir off on my Harbingers or Akai or whatever, the Morghasts, and I try to stop this one and fail because dice rolling is not my thing. I'm sorry, that's not true. I don't try to stop this one because it's Irresistible Force. And his little wizard there, his little level 4 wizard, rolls a 10 and ends up losing 2 wizard levels for his trouble. So that's something, but it's bottom of 5, so who really effing cares? We go into combat after that, and he obliterates my Spirit Host. Not a shock at all. It's a Demon Prince versus Spirit Host. They killed a giant. They did their job. Over here, yeah, the Boshati get obliterated as well. They're able to kill 2 of the little gore bastards, or ungores, or whatever the hell they are, the little ambushers, before they get just destroyed by the trolls and combat res. So, whatever. Over here, my fully retarded Hex Race finally killed the Chariot. Bottom of 5 when it's completely irrelevant. They got the stupid points for the 12-point Chariot, but completely took the Chariot was points well spent by my opponent, because now this unit, this vital, what could have been game-changing unit, is now completely out of position, has been the entire game, and is failed to really produce anything but like 12 points for whatever the Chariot was worth. Really discouraging, really disappointing, and yeah. There's a reason that these guys aren't going to be anything but summoned into my armies from now on. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and there's really none. I'm mostly dead, guys. I'm in damage control mode right now. My Titan charges his little fleeing gore guys, trying to make him flee, and again, he flees 4 inches. He doesn't even hit the impassable terrain and have to bounce through it. He moves forward like 4 inches, stops, gets away from the Titan, who doesn't come anywhere close to hitting them. He tries to countercharge the little gore unit there or whatever, and fails, and yeah. The only good thing that happens is the Doom Bulls, I am able to charge him off the table, which is nice. This what's it called? The Scorpion, and he charges into that unit of whatever they are, Gores, Besta Gores, I don't honestly know. And the Morghast, what's it called? They charge the Doom Bull guy off the table because they were just in range, and then they redirected into that unit to back up the Scorpion and made it. So that's cool. And then of course my what's it called? My Giant, my Bone Giant, makes it into his Shaman, who passes his Terror check. So awesome. Other than that, my Tomb Guard and my Kitty back up away from the Skull Crushers, and everything else I have is dead, or a useless effing catapult. There's a better picture of my Giant slamming into a Shaman, and that's going to be fun. And there's a better picture of the Scorpion and the Harbingers slamming into this unit. And I'm thinking with all the killing blow and everything that I have, that I should be able to plink the characters. That's what I'm hoping anyway. I don't really care about the unit. I want the characters dead. I'm sorry. There's a better picture of where the Doom Bull and everybody ended up. They're off the table. They're gone. So that's awesome. Very happy about that because I needed those points. Getting his general is huge. Not to mention that unit must have been worth at least 6 points. So I feel pretty happy about that. During the match phase, I'm able to get Invocation the heck off and heal the Kitty and raise up some more Tomb Guard just in case these Skull Crushers make a charge from out of nowhere. With nothing else happening in the magic or shooting phase, we go into combat, and my Bone Giant guy obliterates that little Shaman, and I feel good about that. I feel really good about that. This Giant really did a lot this game. Took out the Centaurs, helped take out the Corn Warriors, and then took out a Shaman. I'm happy with him. Over here, however, I am not happy at all. The Scorpion and the Morghast get obliterated. Not in combat res, just in combat. I do try to put some wounds off on his characters and fail. No killing blow or anything like that. Yeah, the scorpion, the poison attacks really screwed me out of some killing blow attacks, but he made all of his saves, and yeah, what can you do? In the end, I lose everything. Both units are just destroyed, and I think he took minimal damage, and I'm dying a little on the inside. I don't know if you can tell. So we go over here to bottom of 6, and there's really nothing at all. He moves some stuff around, and that's really it. There's just nothing for him to do. He doesn't bother charging with the Skull Crushers because he doesn't want to take the chance of them getting killed by the Tomb Guard, because he's a little wary of the Tomb Guard now, and rightfully so. But there's nothing. They pass his frenzy check and life is good, so he doesn't really move anything. Oh, he does try to rally his Gore guys, and they don't rally, and he rolls a Snake Eyes to continue fleeing. He bounces through the impassable terrain, but he's still on the board. So yeah, awesome, fantastic, wonderful. Yeah, that's it. During his magic phase, just because he wants to try to get +4 to his Demon Prince, he gets super regen off on the trolls and doesn't get the 4 up. So it's just something that happened. And there you go, guys. There's the end of the game. Not a good showing on my part. I made a lot of bad decisions. My opponent beat the crap out of me. But I got to be honest with you, I did a lot better than I should have, given some of my terrible decisions and just piss poor dice rolling. And my opponent ended up with a lot more on the table than I would have liked him to have, because of better game playing. And yeah, he's just, overall, he beat me. And I can take that. I can take that right in the chin, I guess. But you know what? Let's hold off on a minute because I need a drink, and this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys, you know these tokens, you've seen them 100 times, and you know what? Every time you see them, if you haven't bought them yet, you're just wasting time. Get these tokens. All of the lores of whatever spell you're casting, all the wound counters. You see me use them in every single game, and you've never heard me since I've been using the counters going, I can't remember how many wounds I had, or what spell was on this guy, or whatever. And they're flawless. They're awesome. You're the envy of everyone you play against. Send Token Gal an email. Get these tokens. They're dirt cheap, but they're solid gold quality, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. A lot of people have already ordered them, and nobody's returned any. Nobody's even asked to return any. All they do is they order more. Get yours. Get them soon. You're wasting time, and these are totally worth it. Tell her Tremendous sent you. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but we got a few new pictures. So not only does Unleashed Wargaming paint amazing models for commission and stuff like that, send him an email. He does excellent work, as you've seen from the pictures. Not only does he do all the different Magic lore cards for Warhammer Fantasy, I mean every lore. You want Storms of Magic? Send him an email. You want Lore of Fire? Send him an email. You want every lore that's ever been out in 8th edition? Send him an email. These things are solid. They're laminated. They're on cardstock. They're Photoshop made. They're amazing. And they're good. They're well priced, guys. I'm telling you. And now he's also doing 40K cards. The psychic stuff or whatever. I don't play 40K, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it if you don't get these cards and if you don't have your models painted by them. Just throwing it out there. Just, you may, if you feel guilty, that's because you know you're wrong. But send this guy an email, get your models looking good, get the cards that you need, get your real game going, and tell him Tremendous sent you. You're not going to regret it. Just in case some of you guys may have forgotten, we do play for dice, and my opponent had never played against me for a die before, and he earned a green die. Only guy to ever do it other than DHD. This is the second green die I've ever given out, and he's earned it for life. He's got it, and as you can see, he is proudly displaying it on his Demon Prince. The I beat Lord Tremendous green dice of victory. So, yeah, everybody, round of applause. Yay! This bastard's dirty opening. Okay. Just gotta give credit where it's due. But yeah, guys, in the end, it was a defeat. A minor defeat. We actually did the math, or he did the math anyway. My opponent did, because I suck at math. And it ended up being a defeat for Lord Tremendous. I got 3,178 points out of him. He got 4,834 out of me, for a difference of 1,656 points. We did the math and the conversions, or I'm sorry, my opponent did it. And it ended up just being a minor victory, but it was still a victory. I mean, he won. He won fair. He earned it, you know, no bull or anything like that. And yeah, I was actually okay with it, as much as anybody can be with getting their butt kicked. But at the same time, it was still a lot of fun. I don't get to play these huge games very often, and this was we got a kick out of it. And I got to give away a green die. Well, I got to give somebody a green die that earned it, I should say. It's not like I gave it away. But man, did he take it to me in this game. Really, really took it to me. In a good way, I mean, for him. But yeah, that was something else. Oh my god, those skull crushers. Skull crushers literally crushed all my skulls. Oh, I get it.
Now, I get it. I couldn't get anything past their saves. And it didn't help that they had, you know, toughness 6, 7, or, you know, 5, 6, or 7 the entire game. So, yeah, but that's my fault too. So, yeah, just wow. Wow, that sucked. The Hex Race really failed me this game. They failed a charge, and then they got held up by a chariot the entire game. Basically the entire game. Yeah, they got a chariot for me, but they should have done so much more. So disappointed in the Hex Race. I'm never putting them in the game again. I'm just going to summon them into my games. That way they're free, so if they fail me, I just don't care. Oh, the fail-a-pole. Why is it whenever I field you, I have to recap about what an epic piece of shit you are? I hate that thing. I hate that thing more than I hate Marauder Horseman. 2 direct hits, 2 ones to wound. That's not an accident. That is not math. That is not bad luck. That is not odds. That is God himself. God coming down and showing me, don't take that. No, he booped me. He did. He booped me and said, don't do that. Stupid on you. Stupid on you. Don't do that again. I hate the fail-a-pult. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. And I know I didn't say anything else about it during the game. You want to know why? Because the only thing it did for the rest of the game, even with a direct hit on that big unit of Gores that my chariots ended up taking out that didn't flee off the frickin' table, it did 1 wound to them with a direct hit. That's how much I hate the catapult. It does nothing. It's garbage. Go ahead and take it if you want. Maybe it works great for you. There's certain units that just don't work for me, and this is one of them, and I hope it burns in hell. I really, really do. What a piece of shit. The Boshati. Oh, they were doing so good this game. They were putting shots out there. They took care of a chariot. And then they slammed into the flank of that ambushing unit. And I thought, 15 attacks. I got this. 4s and 3s. -1 to his save. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to get that unit. I'm going to get the points. The juicy, juicy points. And then I'm going to overrun and get the hell out of that charge of anything else. And just run him into that corner and leave him there. And it's going to be glorious. And no. 15 attacks, flubbed like a champion. I don't even get it. What can you do? The Bestigors that ate my Morghast and my Scorpion in turn 6. I didn't expect that. I did not realize that they were a special choice. I did not realize what they were. You know, when I'm playing anything Beastmen, it's a lot like when I'm playing Bretonnians. They all look the same to me. I don't know anything from the other ones. Even when they're fully painted, I can't tell them apart. So I just trust my opponents are telling me the truth. But yeah, I don't get it. I wish that they would redo the models and actually make them look a lot different. Or maybe they do look different and I'm just racist. I don't know. But yeah, these things, when they took out the Morghast and the Scorpion like that without really any damage to the unit, it stunned me. You know, he was keeping him in the back. He had it as a bunker for his caster. I figured they were like archers. No. Why this unit wasn't, you know, in the thick of combat really surprised me.
Oh, his gores fleeing 3 to 4 inches a turn really sucked. I should have gotten the points in that unit. That would have made it a lot closer, possibly even a draw, but nope, wasn't meant to be. So it is what it is. My casket did really good this game. It took down the Bloodthirster to 1 wound, the Shaggoth down to 2, allowing the kitty to survive and take out the Thirster. That was really cool. And then, you know, my useless Vargeist were able to actually put the last 2 wounds on the Shaggoth and kill it. So that was huge. That casket, oh, I love that thing. A lot of highs and lows in this game, though. A lot. You know, go figure with a game like this. But really taking a liking to the Tomb Guard, which surprises me, actually. I really didn't think I would see that much difference, but wow, was I wrong, which I'm actually kind of getting used to saying about me in this game. So what can you do? But I'm actually, thanks to this game and another one, I'm really seriously considering putting them in the army instead of Skeleton Warriors. And between me and Nawal, if you're still listening to this recap, I've actually gotten a decent amount of zombies, and they're a bunch of them are converted marauders because I finally found a use for them. But there's also another little group of zombies that I have, so I'm actually kind of excited to play them. So yeah, keep an eye out for them in a future battle report. That should be really cool. But yeah, definitely looking forward to maybe having some new stuff in the army, and definitely a serious army revamp after seeing what some stuff can do. But you know what? All in all, I know it sounded like I was bitching, and I was venting a little bit because we're all friends here. This is a safe place, right? Safe place. But this is still a damn fun game. I still really enjoyed it. I got frustrated at my army a little bit and at my dice rolling because, well, it's my dice rolling. What can you do? But all in all, I really enjoyed this game. There was a lot of highs and lows, a lot of stuff going left and right. The Skull Crushers, oh my god, I missed Laura Metal so much. But you know, and this was a really cool opponent. I really enjoy playing against this guy. I haven't been able to play against him in a while, and so getting a game in against him was a lot of fun, even though he did kick my teeth down my throat. And I got to award somebody with the second green die I've ever given out. So that was really cool, too. I really do enjoy giving out the dice. So, really fun game, really cool opponent, really cool, you know, events throughout the entire battle report, and I'm really looking forward to a rematch. Maybe not at 6k points, but definitely looking forward to the rematch. But, yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report, number 198, just 2 away from battle report 200. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I am. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comments section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.